Hello Virgo, happy birthday and welcome to your very special year ahead forecast. We're doing this as a special treat for your birthday. Our birthdays, when the sun reaches the place where it was when we were born, it's our own personal new year. So it's always a great time to sort of check in and have a look to see the themes that may be cropping up, major themes, unfolding themes that may be sort of relevant for us over the next 12 months. So let's do that for you, Virgo. Important birthdays this year, just to say, if your birthday is around about the 31st of August or the 15th of September, you do have the new and the full moons in your solar return chart, so these will be particularly big years for you. We'll get into that a little bit more in the new and full moon forecasts that we'll be doing later on in the season. So let's crack on with your yearly forecast. Okay, so major theme then, Virgo. What have you got going on? What have you got going on, Virgo? What's relevant for Virgo? What's the big thing for Virgo this year? Oh my goodness me. Okay. Right, we have got the devil energy. Okay. The devil sounds scary. But the devil actually, I love seeing the devil in readings. The devil talks about the things that pull our strings. It's where we give our power away. Now the thing with the devil, the trick with the devil, is it only has the power over us that we give to it. So with the devil as a theme, this can be talking about understanding the things that manipulate us, whether this is people, places, our own behavior patterns. But I love seeing the devil energy coming out in a reading, because it means that we're actually seeing the devil energy for what it is. We're seeing where we're being manipulated and not acting from our highest good. So often when we see the devil, we see it as sort of undertaking a process of stripping back those things that aren't healthy for us. The devil is often things that a behaviour pattern or something that we learned in childhood as a coping mechanism, that they sort of helped us to cope. But then as we get older, they're no longer useful. We react to things differently as a 3-year-old as we do as a 30-year-old. So we are going to be stripping away some difficult behaviours, manipulation, seeing through the things that pull our strings, Virgo. Yeah, I had a bit of a feeling that was going to come up. I'm a Virgo son myself. I was thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be the devil energy. Right, so next year then, from your birthday, you're going to be really sort of working through a process of understanding what's pulling your strings, Virgo. Becoming your own master. Getting rid of toxic behaviour patterns, people, places. Right, okay, so, right, Virgo, let's get you some tarot. What are you aware of around about your birthday? 10 of Wands reversed. The 10 of Wands talks about sort of burdens, responsibilities. Often with the 10 of Wands, we are encumbered. There's a lot of responsibility. If anything happens, we pick it up and we find ourselves overburdened. When this is reversed for me, this talks about rejecting of the burdens, putting things down and refusing to put up with it. So if we have a lot on our plate, if we have a lot going on, when the 10 comes in and it's reversed, this talks about rejecting of the burdens. Now, as I said, this can be in a healthy way, not my monkey, not my party. Or this could actually be maybe with this devil energy. I mean, obviously other people's demands on us can be a sense of pulling our strings, manipulating us, that kind of thing. Also, it can talk about us rejecting things that we should be responsible for. So this, there is a sense around your birthday, there is an awareness here, I feel, and with this devil energy here, there is an awareness here of where burden of responsibility is pulling at your strings. Okay, so what's coming in? Well, then what's coming in after that? Death reversed. Okay, now death again. Wow, you got some really strong. You're going hard this year, Virgo. Wow, big year. With the death and rebirth card, that's it straight way up. It is the death and rebirth card. Very rarely does it actually point directly to death. Death is more of a process. Death and rebirth, it talks about, you know, kind of clearing out the old dead stuff in our life, things that no longer serve us, to make space for new things. Now, upright, it can often talk about a fear of change. I mean, this is sort of a caterpillar to butterfly energy, this death energy. You know, it's deep, profound transformation, and often in the upright it can talk about understanding but a fear of it. Reversed for me, this talks about understanding that transformation is necessary. So this is a very sort of, with this, so there is an understanding here, the devil energies, this sense of being manipulated, where you're giving your power away with regards to responsibility and burden. Understanding that things need to change. So this is the next energy that's coming in. This is you understanding that transformation is absolutely necessary. Okay, so right, Mars, actually we're going to be taking King of Cups. Okay, so with the King of Cups, I mean, with the court cards, it can be coming in as people. King of Cups could relate directly to Scorpio, but with the King of Cups in the reverse, this can talk about emotional. It can talk about emotional immaturity, undeveloped work, depending on what area of life this is going on for you. It can also talk about an explosion of suppressed emotion. That the King of Cups is very good emotionally. There's a lot of deep emotions here, but with the King, often he will sort of not express them. When he comes in reversed, often you may see this sense of what's been expressed actually coming out. You know, sometimes it can come out quite forcefully. So this to me feels, with this in the Mars position, Mars in astrology talks about taking action, the things that you're going to be acting on. I feel that this, with this devil energy, this sense of change, things being manipulated, this is actually putting effort into expressing suppressed emotions, expressing possibly, if this is an energy that's surrounding you, if the burdens, if this is, you know, if you're in the first case where you're like, right, okay, not my party, not my monkey, you're manipulating me, you're pulling my strings, this isn't a burden for me to deal with, this isn't a burden that I no longer want to deal with this King of Cups reversed, this could be a lot of emotional energy, you working to release. It's like, as I was seeing it, like sort of a release valve, getting out these pent up emotions, tackling any sense of emotional immaturity, and I mean that in the, you know, in the best sense possible. You know, understanding where there's a need for emotional growth. If you're in some sort of spiritual field, it could be that there's an understanding here that work-wise, you know, when we have creative jobs, we channel our emotions into it. It could be that somehow your work is underdeveloped because of, you know, listening to people who aren't, you know, who are sort of pulling your strings. I mean, as creators, we do often think, oh my goodness, you know, I really want to say this, but it's my responsibility to be politically correct. It's my responsibility to, you know, not trigger people, and so it could, and when taken to the extreme, it can actually stop us from expressing our true voices, our true creativity, our true emotions. And in that sense, you know, we have our strings pulled, the burden, you know, we have this burden from other people. So anyway, right, so that's Mars. Okay, so thoughts. Three of Swords reversed. Now the Three of Swords, I mean the Three of Swords is a lot of painful energy. So I think mentally, and Mercury, I mean, Mercury can talk about expressions, it talks about communication, it can talk about our thought processes. With the Three of Swords, there is pain, there is sorrow. It is a difficult card. There's no two ways about this. So with this sense of suppressed emotions, emotional, you know, not at a level of emotional mastery, however that's coming in, this Devil. With the Three of Swords reversed, this is thinking about, you know, with the Three of Swords there comes an acceptance of the pain and suffering and trauma that we all go through. Eventually, you know, we kind of accept it and we move on. We go on to the Four. But with the Three of Swords, this is not accepting the pain, not accepting the suffering. So I suspect that whatever this process is, this sense of responsibility, this sense of burden, this sense of whatever this is, pulling your strings and this need for change, this is because there's a refusal now to accept the pain that these difficult energies bring. This is speaking up, understanding the root of the pain with this Devil energy, seeing the pain, the source of the pain for what it is, and saying, right, no, do you know what, I'm not accepting this, I'm not doing this anymore. Whether this is me doing it to myself by taking on too many burdens, or refusing to accept responsibility, or whether this is you basically saying to someone else, you know, I'm not putting up with this BS anymore. This is it looks on the surface that there is a lot of difficult energy here, Virgo, but ultimately it's really healthy. I mean, as a Virgo, you're always going to be able to discern the value in things. That's part of the wonderful Virgo traits. It's part of our superpower, discernment, understanding the value, seeing the value hidden in things where others may not. So while on the surface this energy can look difficult, ultimately there's a lot of catharsis that comes with this. This is really clearing out all the old dead shit that no longer serves a purpose, to make space for new things. The universe abhors a vacuum, doesn't it? So if you clear out all the old dead shit that pardon my language, that no longer serves you, you've got this beautiful space for new fresh energy to come in. Okay, so expansion. Three of Wands. Okay, and again this is coming in reversed. The Three of Wands upright talks about an exploration. Going out, you know, feeling quite comfortable, but exploring new horizons, building on what you've got. When it's reversed, there's almost like a sort of a sense of a return to home base. This feels very, it can, you know, it can feel as a sense of failure, but this is like kind of gone out, explored, tried new things, and now understanding that whatever this was, this is no longer working. So this is a return to home base. This is, you know, almost like a sort of a going back to somewhere, whether this is a creative project or a work project, or this is like kind of going back, almost, you know, maybe having gone on, understanding that this is a sort of a false folly, you know, it's a false trip, it's a false project, it was a false start, and returning back to a core of safety, security, comfort. You know, this is like kind of going back to if you've gone off, if you were sort of getting directions and you get lost and you think, oh my goodness, right, okay, where am I? Go back to the last point that you recognise on the map, and look again and start again, and that's what that is. This is that. So the expansion, in some ways, looking at this energy, as I say, there is a lot of clearing out. There is this sense of burden, simplifying your life. So in some ways, with this discernment and clearing out energy, which, as I say, Virgos are great at, in some ways there may be, excuse me, a sense of kind of returning to a simpler form, a simpler place, a simpler setup. But as I say, this is a really healthy thing to do. Right, okay, Venus then. Let's have a look what's going on for you value-wise. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Virgo, Seven of Pentacles in the Venus. Venus talks about what we value. It's also, I mean, it can, for some, it can talk about, as the ruler of Libra, it can talk about one-to-one relationships. Venus is also, you know, can be to do with sort of love and values. But Seven of Pentacles in the Venus position, the Seven of Pentacles talks about harvest, understanding where you're putting your resources, whether that's time, love, money, effort, energy, thoughts, understanding what it is that you're investing in. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's the harvesting card. You know, this talks about getting a harvest. So this, to me, Virgo, all of this old dead cack that you're clearing out, this sense of, you know, you've been manipulated, whether it's demands on your time or, you know, anything like that, this sense of refusal of burdens, you're only going to be putting the value that you're going to be placing this year, Virgo, in order to clear out this devil energy, is what am I going to invest in that is going to provide me with a return. So the value, the coming year, Virgo, it's all about only investing in things that you know that you're going to reap the reward on. You know, so that could be relationships. If this is a difficult connection that you've had, where the burden has always been placed on you, where there's a sense here of, you know, having your strings pulled in some way, this is like, right, okay, I'm no longer investing relationships that do not provide me with a return. I'm so sorry about that. That's my cat just doing some gymnastics. Athena, you all right, mate? Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't push you. You just fell off, mate. Right, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so the value here is, what's the return going to be? What is worth my effort? What is worth my energy? 10 of Wands, it talks about, you know, our burdens, where we put our energy with this fire. What is going to be, you're going to be rejecting anything that doesn't give you a return for your, you know, your very valuable time, love, money, effort, energy, resources. Okay, so Saturn then. 10 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Right, interesting. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I've just seen the underlying. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, I don't know whether I've had the deck upside down, just been holding it upside down. It's pretty much everything's in reversed. Right, okay. It's interesting with all of these reverse cards though, because reverse cards talk about a blockage for me. I mean, some readers read them as it's the opposite of how the cards would read right way up. But for me, it's the same energy. It's just been kind of misdiverted. So I think with this 10 of Wands, there's definitely a sense of your energy being siphoned off or you know, kind of diverted in the wrong direction. It feels like the sort of the theme, and this is the sense of responsibility, your energy, your effort, your resources, time, love, money, etc. have all been kind of going in the wrong direction, and there is an understanding of that. Saturn then. So the outcome, interesting, Virgo, Ten of Pentacles, talks about long-term stability, material abundance, generational wealth, but it can also, at the tens, often there's a sense of saturation and there not being any further growth. So at the 10, we can think, right, okay, I've gone as far as I can with that, and it is coming in with a sort of a material energy. So again, I think this is sort of resources. At the 10, there's a sense of there's nothing, you know, that there can be nothing more to be gained with that. When it comes in the reverse, it talks about risk. It talks about risk, Virgo. So I think all of this clearing out energy, getting rid of this difficult, the things that have been holding you back, the things that have been draining your energy, the things that have been siphoning it off, where you've been misspending your energy, your resources. There's now a sense of, because you're only going to be putting in to things that yield results, you're going to be valuing results, you know, results first this year. The outcome, we've got this sense of risk with this. Being able to take a risk, because you have more spare capacity, because you've cleared out all the old dead whatever, you've understood the things that are manipulating you, the things that you're giving your power away to. You understand what is and what isn't your responsibility, what is and what isn't your burden to carry. You're only going to be thinking about putting your energy and effort and resources into things that are actually going to be giving you a harvest, an outcome, a result. Refusal of pain, not putting up with this anymore. It clears this amazing space to be able to take a leap of faith, take a risk. And the underlying energy that I spotted earlier for the year is the Fool card, and he's reversed. The Fool talks about a leap of faith, following your instincts, taking the right opportunity at the right time. When he's reversed, this is a failure. That's him upright. It is a failure to follow your instincts, a failure to act at the right time, a failure to follow your gut. And if you're burdened down, if you've not got and if you don't understand what is and what isn't your responsibility, if you're giving away your power and having your strings pulled in some way, you're not going to have the confidence to take that leap of faith, or you're not going to have the resources, the headspace to be able to do that. So, and this year then, looking at this, it's all about, this is a massive clearing out year, Virgo. Massive clearing out year. To allow you to really follow your instincts, take a leap of faith, do what you want to do. I mean, as I say, you're the master at discernment. You understand what is and what isn't right for you, what is and what is. You see value where others don't. But often if we're working with other people's values, and with Virgo, there is a sense of, you know, a part of our makeup is that we want to be of service to people. We want to help people. We want to be helpful. And often that I'm a Virgo Sun, Virgo Sun Venus, so I do sometimes stick my nose in where I've not been asked to, but do sort of take on other people's issues without them asking. This is a really amazing year, guys, for just clearing out what's yours and what isn't, to free you up, to understand what will and what won't, what is and what isn't right for you, what will and what won't provide a harvest. You're looking for a return this year, guys. Return on your investment, whether that's your time, your love, your money, your effort. And by shedding the burdens, refusing to accept what isn't yours, or understanding what is yours to carry, understanding why you give your power away, it's going to free you up to be able to take a risk, follow your instincts and take that leap of faith. Okay, guys, I hope you have an amazing year. Reading for Virgo season will be, say, your birthday month. I'll add a link to that, and we'll be doing some updates with the new and the full moon later on in the season, and there'll also be messages from your guides with regards to growth and development also later on in the season. Have an amazing year, guys, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.